Hello everybody, this is Mr. Murad is talking with you about English language. Today we'll be talking about word order. What's the meaning of word order in English language? Word order means that how to put your sentences in the correct order. What is number one, what is number two, and what is number three and four. Many students have mistakes at this field, at making sentences. So today I'm gonna talk to you about 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, to avoid making wrong sentences. Listen to me carefully and let's start. Point number one in word order. Always when you make a sentence in English language, put subject number one and verb and object. This order is the correct order, and that's what makes mistakes for many students. Many students make mistakes because they still confuse between starting with subject or verb. So some people start even sentences like go to school. Who goes to school? You say I go to school. She goes to school. I play football. He plays football. You have to start your sentence with the subject. For example here, I went to London. I is the subject, went is the verb, and London is the object. Now, you can make the subject more than one word. The subject can be 2, 3, 4, or even 10 words. For example, I and my friends went to London. I and my friends is the subject. So you can make subject more than one word. I and my friends, I and my sister, I and my brothers. You can make it, but the point is how to start your sentence is with the subject. The subject is I and my friends, or all my relatives. Relatives, that means sister, brother, uncle, relatives. All my relatives is also the subject. Where is the verb is went, and where is the object is London. So always pay attention and remember how to make the correct sentence. You put subject number one and verb and object. Let's move to point number two. Point number two is saying that don't put anything between verb and object, which means that in another way, verb and object are usually together, which means try not to put anything between them. Let's look at these examples. In a question, someone says, did you watch all evening TV? Of course, it's wrong sentence. Why, Mr. Murad? Here, the problem is watch is the verb. And where is the object? Is TV. So don't put, as I told you before, don't put anything between the verb and the object. All evening must come here. So it will be, did you watch TV all evening? That's the correct sentence. Let's move to the second example. Tom started last week his new job. This sentence is correct. Many people say it's correct, but unfortunately, I'm sorry, it's not correct, it's wrong. Tom started, this is the verb. Where is the object? His new job. So don't put between the verb and the object anything. Last week comes at the end. So it will be Tom started last week his new job, and it's not like that. Example number 3, you can say Ali doesn't speak very well French. Of course, I think now you understand where is the mistake. The mistake, speak French. Speak verb, French the object, very well comes at the end, but don't put anything between the verb and the object. Now, let's move to point number 3. When you make your sentences, pay attention that don't put anything between, start with where and when. What do you mean, Mr. Murad? Let me show you this example. This question says, someone asks someone else, will you be this evening at home? If you look at this example or at this question, you will find it's very, very normal and it's correct. But unfortunately, it's not correct because the word order in English language says always put where, the place, then when, the time. Here, the wrong, will you be this evening comes after home. Will you be at home this evening? If someone asks me, Mr. Murad, are you sure of this information? Yes, sure, I'm sure, 100% sure. It's not from my mother. It's from Cambridge Pope's grammars, and you can make sure of these points. But someone else asks me, Mr. Murad, if I speak like that, is it incorrect? Is it wrong? Yes. When you speak in the street or with people, some people don't pay attention, especially if they are not native speaker. But if they're native speaker, or you are in a test of IELTS, or you are in an interview for job, and some people are testing you, so if you make these kinds of mistakes, they will measure your language, or your ability of English language is not that good. So it's much better for you to avoid making wrong sentences. Try to make correct sentence. Try to make subject, verb, object. Try not to put anything between verb and object. Try not to put anything between verb and object. Try to put, in your sentence, when you make a sentence, to put where, and after put when. So the same example here in the question. Will you be at home this evening? So this evening comes after at home, because this evening is when, and when comes after where. In example number 2, Jim was born in 1966 in London. Of course, in 1996 will come after, because it is when, it's time, comes after place. Example number 3, I've lived for 10 years in this house. If you look at this sentence, you maybe think it's correct, but I'm sorry, it's not correct. Say, I have lived in this house for 10 years or 20 years, no problem. Why, Mr. Murad, it's wrong? Because I have lived, you give me where, in this house, it comes first. For 10 years, it comes at the end or after. So where, in this house, comes here. When, for 10 years, comes after. I hope you understand this difference. The last point for today, we have some adverbs in English language, such as always, often, never, also, still, just, both, seldom, rarely, sometimes, many adverbs. And many students make mistake when they put them in the wrong order. For example, here, I drink always coffee. As I told you before, many students, when they read this sentence, they think it's correct. But unfortunately, it's not correct, because these kinds of words come always after subject. What is the subject? I always, he always, she always, I still, I just. Don't put always or sometimes or never after the verb. Where do you put them? After subject, here. I always, I still, but don't put them like this example here is wrong. As I told you, when you speak in the street, maybe nobody pays attention, nobody focuses on these mistakes. But when you are writing, when you are talking in a test or interview for a job, of course they will notice these kinds of mistakes, and it will not be good for you, because they will measure your language ability or the ability of your language. It's not good for you. So pay attention and try not to put always or often or never after verb. Always make it after verb or after subject. It's the best answer, after subject. Mr. Murad, I have a question. Yes. Even in the question, when I ask you, do you drink always coffee, is wrong. Do you always drink coffee is correct. Why? Do you always? Do you is the subject. So you put always, often, also, seldom, you put it after subject. What is the subject? you, he, she, it, you, they, we. Let's move to the second example. He goes often to Paris. Often, sometimes they say it often in British or American accent. No matter. They are correct. Both of them. Both are correct. He goes often to Paris is wrong. You have to say he often goes, because as I told you, often also comes after subject. Tom plays also tennis. Of course, it's wrong, and you have to say Tom also plays tennis. So these 4 points are very important for any students who want to improve their English language speaking or writing. Try to avoid making these kinds of mistakes. Let's make them in brief or in summary. First point, subject, verb, object. When you make any sentence in English language, the subject might be 1 or 10 or 15 words, no matter. And number 2, verb and object are usually together. Try not to put anything between them. And point number 3, always when you make a sentence, put the where and after it comes when, not the opposite. Of course, not the opposite. These kinds of words like always, often, never, also, these things comes always after subject, not after verb. Pay attention for that in sentence or question or even negative. There is exception here is the word sometimes. Sometimes you can start it before the subject. Only sometimes. So you can say sometimes I go to school or I sometimes go to school. But you cannot put sometimes after verb or this. No. Only sometimes, the word sometimes, you can start sentence with sometimes only. But the other words, like seldom, rarely, both, just, comes always after subject. I always, I still, I just, I often, he never. You also like music, but you don't, you like also music. I think you understand the point. Thank you very much for your listening. I hope if you have any comments, you can write it down in the comments. I'll be waiting for your answers or questions. Thank you very much. That was Mr. Murad talking with you. Good luck and see you soon. Goodbye.